Hey everyone, it's Mike from Rogala Photography here. Today what I want to do is go through an edit of a sunset photo. Um, Beginners especially, let's face it, some of the first photos you take as a beginner photographer, besides maybe your family or your kids, you're taking sunset photos. Everybody wants to take a sunset photo. So learning how to edit them to make them pop, make them look, like you want to hang them on your wall. Definitely something you want to be able to do. So I want to be able to get you into that. Now, I did a couple of quick edits here. First thing I did was I just straightened the horizon. Nothing worse than to ruin a photo is a crooked horizon. So I wanted to definitely do that. And then also right here, I had a person in here and I had some light flares. So you can see here's the before right here. And then there's after. I just got rid of them real quick. That's pretty much it, just to get you started right there. Now, toward the end, I am going to take this photo into Photoshop to do some generative fill to remove these twigs and branches up here. You could do them first. However, the problem is that then it changes your photo to a TIFF file from a RAW file. And I really don't want to have to edit a TIFF file. It's not terrible, but I try to do all my edits as much as possible on the actual RAW file. So where I usually start, we'll come on over here, Adobe Color. And today I'm going to come into Adobe Neutral. And you can see already it lightened the shadows up a little bit. It kind of darkened the sky and it flattened the contrast. So it kind of gives me a nice, clean slate to do the edits that I want on here. Now, if you remember, I did a video about contrast. Again, if you haven't seen it, it's in the description below. I am not even going to touch these sliders, exposure, contrast right away. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to open up my shadows a little bit more. Okay, right about there. I want to bring my highlights down. You can see the sun start to become more predominant there. Whites, I'm going to bring my whites up a little bit. And then I want to bring my blacks. So I want to bring them down. No, I won't bring them down just yet. We're going to bring them up just a little bit. Okay. Now, texture clarity, you got to be very, very careful, especially when you're doing global edits, because that's what we're doing global right now. We're going to do some local adjustments in a minute. And if you don't know the difference, global means you are editing the whole photo. Okay. Local means you are picking a certain area in the photo, and you do that by using your masks. A mask I usually do somewhat toward the middle to end, usually toward the end. But right now we're going to just do a little bit of texture just to kind of make everything pop a little bit. And then also a little bit of clarity. Again, be careful because, again, if you go too far, I mean, it looks like you're on some different planet somewhere. So you want to be very careful. Same thing with texture. You go too much, I mean, it's just way too crisp. So you want to bring that down a little bit here. We're just going to do, let's do +7 on each. Actually, I think clarity are going to drop a little bit. Dehaze, I'm not going to touch just yet. Vibrance, I will bring it up a little bit right now. And gradually, you're going to see me playing with the color, maybe increasing the vibrance a little bit here and there. And again, it's a gradual process. The next thing I do, detail, especially for landscape photos, but I actually do this in all my photos now. So I bring the radius all the way down, detail all the way up. Then I bring the sharpening up. Now, if I'm doing a portrait, I'll probably only bring it up somewhere between maybe 60, 65. But for a landscape, I'll bring it up to like 85, 90. Now, here's the secret sauce to sharpening your photos in Lightroom. On a Mac, hold down your Option key, click the button, and you can see everything turned white. That means the whole photo is being affected. But if I bring the slider down, you could see anything in white will be sharpened. Anything in black will not be sharpened. So I'm going to bring that down. So only a little bit of the photo will be sharpened. Okay. Otherwise, you can really get some serious issues with the sharpening. And I don't touch anything else. Denoise some photos, especially wildlife photos, especially if I got to crop in, I might use denoise. Okay. But otherwise, I'm not going to do anything with that right there, right now. So, detail. Next one, calibration tool. This is really going to fine tune your color. I shouldn't say fine tune. It's going to even out your color. So when you do go in to your color mixer and your color grading, it'll look much better. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to take my hue. See, the sun looks a little too yellow. I want to bring that down just a little bit. You can see it's kind of changing and subduing the yellows and the reds. And then same thing with the green primary right here. I want to bring this one up a little bit. I can go down, but then you can see the yellow. This looks like mustard. I want to bring that down a little bit. I want to bring it more of a magenta. And again, you can go a little bit, see how far you can go. But yeah, again, a little goes a long way. And that goes pretty much with any slider in Lightroom. See the red or the blue primary. So if I go this way, it turns everything too greenish. If I go over here towards the cyan, it looks much, much more natural. Now you can play with the saturation. I usually don't. Let's see. Let's try this one. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't. Usually I just play with the hue a little bit like that. Now, tone curve. This is a hit or miss for landscape. Usually it's a hit, meaning it's going to help your photos. I'll start with the mids and I'll bring them up just a little bit like that. Do I want to bring, yep, I want to bring my highlights down just a tad. Actually, no, I want to bring them up a little bit. This is a sunset. I want to kind of brighten it. And what I'll do is I'll bring the darks down. Not too much though. Again, we're going to play with those with our masks. So it's a little bit of an S curve. Okay, nothing major. I'm not going to add anything else in here. I'll kind of do that with my color grading, which we'll do that right now, actually, color grading. So here you can add color to your highlights, your midtones, and your shadows. Okay. Usually with a sunset photo, matter of fact, pretty much always with a sunset photo, I'll start with the highlights. I want to bring a warm tone into the highlights. So we want to go maybe somewhat of an orangish color. And then you can play with that. And you can see this is why I only did a little bit of vibrance earlier globally, because this is where you're going to add more. Okay. And then luminance, you can brighten it up or you can darken it down. I think in this case, I'm going to darken it down just a little bit. Now I can add a little bit more right there. All right. And I'll play with the blending and the balance a little bit later. Shadows. Usually with shadows, I'm going to add more of a cooler tone. So some sort of a blue cyan color. We'll try that. And then do I want to lighten it? See, if I lighten it, it gets too faded. So I want to kind of go dark a little bit. Again, we are going to bring up those shadows in a bit. A little bit more saturation, but with the blues, I kind of don't saturate it as much. I actually want to come over to the highlights again real quick. I want to add more. There you go, just like that. Now, midtones. Midtones are usually I'm going to warm it up a bit, especially if I have a person, because midtones are your skin tones. So I'm going to warm it up a bit, but sometimes I may need another color. It depends on my color scheme. I'll look at the color, like I'll go by color theory. So because I have orange in here, I may really want to bring out these cyans or teals to kind of make them alternate a little bit. But then I got the green as well. So I want to be careful with that. So I'm going to warm it up a bit here. Let's see, right about there. And again, I don't want to go too much. I want to brighten. Wait, see now that one we can brighten. That looks really nice. And then right here, I don't want to go too much there. Saturation. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That was saturation, not brightening. Luminance, I can raise it up a little bit right there. That's good right there. Saturation, that looks good. Okay. Color mixer. Sometimes I'll use the old HSL sliders. But a lot of times I've been using this point color because I can really, really fine tune. So I want to click this grayish color right here. And I want to bring this over more towards the cyans. I want to saturate it a little bit more, not too much because it can get a little wonky. And then see if you lighten it too much, see what it looks like. It's terrible. So I want to kind of go a little bit on the darker side right there. So we kind of got everything here right there. So now I want to do some go into some masking. So let's click on the masks. I'm going to start with, let's start with the sky. Let's just get that right now out of the way. We are going to bring up the whites. Oh, and by the way, if you remember, I didn't even touch in the basic tab. I didn't even touch the exposure or contrast. So keep that in mind because you got to be careful with those sliders. But anyway, the whites, bring them up a little bit in the sky. Highlights, I want to bring them down. There we go. That's better. Oh, that brings some color. It kind of helps balance this out right here. It really makes it look like it is a sunset. Let me see what else I want to do. I want to warm it up. Do I want to blue it up? Yeah, let's blue. There we go. See, you don't always want to warm it up, a sunset photo, because see, now I'm bringing this out. So now we got the gradual blue into the yellow and the oranges and then slightly into the reds. So much, much better. Let's saturate this a little bit more. Again, not going crazy. One of my little secrets for skies, come down here. I give it some clarity, not a ton. If you go too crazy, the clouds get a little too wonky there. So we're gonna go 8, but then I go negative clarity, and it softens. So it brings out the contrast of the clouds, but then it softens. The texture will soften the harshness of the edges. Okay. So now we're gonna come up here. We're gonna do another mask, and we're gonna kind of work on the sky here. We're gonna bring this down just a little bit. Actually, I want to bring it down a lot, but I'm gonna move it back up. So I wanted to get a nice feather in there. And then I just want to come on up to the exposure, bring that exposure down there. Just kind of gonna frame this whole area in right here in the center. Next one, what do we want to do here? We want to do a radial gradient. I love radial gradients, I'll tell you. So we're gonna make this like this. And it looks like, what are you doing over here, Mike? Well, we're gonna take the angle of it and turn it that way. We're gonna make it bigger. And then let's go a little bit bigger here like this. Actually, we can go even a little bit more here. We're going to bring this up. Now, you can see here it will affect the sky and it will look kind of weird. So you come on up over here to the subtract, and then I click subtract sky. Now it's only going to affect over here. So now this is where I'll use, actually, no, I'm going to use my shadows first. Because again, I don't want to bring this up too much. Because, it is technically in shadow. There is the light coming through right here. So it will lighten it up down here a little bit, and especially on this side. But see, it looks a lot better here. So now what I want to do is I want to I want to also warm this up a little bit. Even though we're in shadow, there are some highlights from the sun. And I want to bring those up a little bit, and I want to bring the whites up a little bit. Okay, just right there. Now I'm going to add another one. We're going to do the other side. Radial gradient. And then again, kind of make it like a oblong shape here. And then we're going to turn it. And bring it down here. We're going to bring it up this way. And I don't really need to subtract the sky in this one here. So again, we're going to bring up the shadows. We are going to bring up the highlights a little bit here. So I really want to make them pop. See, and then we're going to get some warmth. See that glow right there? That's the sun. The sun's right there, and you can see it's coming right down. you can look at these rails here. The sun's coming right down, and it would hit these plants right here. All right. So we're just making what's already there. We're making them pop. Now, I also, on this side, I want to bring out some texture because it is in the sun. Okay. All right. Now, you can see I'm using a lot of masks here. That is the secret to professional photography, is these masks. Linear gradient. I want to kind of, again, I want to frame in the sun a little bit. So I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go this way with it a little bit, kind of darken that side, and then bring it down like that. And then come back up to, I'm going to use my exposure this time. There we go. We're going to darken over here. Now I'm going to bring in some highlights here in a minute. Okay. But I did want to darken that down a little bit. Now the radial, I want to take another radial filter right here in the middle. Not going to go crazy, but I do want to keep a strong feather on that. Okay. Because I don't want any harsh, a lot like shapes where you can see the the mask was. So I'm going to bring this up just a little bit, whites a little bit, and I want to bring the blacks up a little bit to kind of give it a haze because, it is hazy. And also the Canadian wildfires and the wildfires in California, is the smoke is actually is hitting here in Western New York, and it is causing some issues. No, I shouldn't say issues, but it's causing a lot of haze. So I just want to bring it up a little bit, but I'm also, because it turns it white, I want to add some color, and I want to add a warmth to it just to kind of do that. I can also increase my colors a little bit, and I'm going to come down here, negative dehaze, just add a little bit more, negative clarity, and then negative texture. Okay, just to kind of put that haze there. But then now what we're going to do is take another radial, and then I'm going to make a bigger one. And those of you that have followed my channel and my editing videos, I do not use the built-in vignette in Lightroom or Camera Raw. So I use a radial filter, and then I hit invert. Okay, and now you can see right here. Now this one, I want to take some of the feather off of there a little bit, and then I'm going to darken the edges a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. And I'm going to come back to a lot of this, like this one right here. I want to make this bigger. And I am going to take some of the feather off a little bit. And then I am going to make it a little bit brighter. And I could come up here to the amount, and I can actually increase the amount. I don't want to go too much because it's going to not look that good. But there's that right there. Okay, so now I want to do some dodging and burning. So I'm going to come to the brush tool, masks, and I am going to increase a little bit of exposure. And because I want to work on the highlights, I'm going to actually warm it up a bit. Okay, and again, I could play with those later. But over here on this side, I want to make these come out a little bit more. So I'm going to color. You can see how that glow. And over here, I'll do that a little bit more there too. And you don't want to do like whole sections. You just want to kind of bring in some highlights. Now this side, I do want to bring out, like this right here would definitely have that. See, this is all dark, so that should stay dark. But over here, it's going to, I gotta bring that down a little bit though. It's a little too much. There we go. That's better. And I also, what I want to do is I want to increase the highlights in the whites in here. And I want to bring down the blacks just a tad because it's just a little too much there. There we go. That's better. And then maybe a little bit up in here. just to kind of make these pop a little bit. Again, most of it is going to be on this side. Like I got some right here. I can add some right there. All right. And then you can see if I take this mask, there's before, there's after. Just kind of gives that a little bit of pop. A little bit of pop. All right. What else? Oh, we want to darken some areas, especially over here on the right. So we need another brush tool. And this one, all I'm going to do is kind of darken it just a little bit. I don't really do a lot with this. But over here, I want to darken this up a little bit here. Down in here a little bit. Let me see. Right here, right here, right here a little bit. Just to kind of give it some texture. All right. Let me see. What else do we need here? You know what? Let me come over to my globals again. And so this is where you come back and you tweak things. So now I may want to add a little exposure. Bring down the highlights. Okay. And now if we look, here's before, there's after. I mean, it's amazing what modern day technology does. There's before and there's after. So I mean that is really, really, really good. Now, I told you at the beginning, I want to take this into Photoshop to get rid of these branches. So I just want to show you how to do it, especially for beginners who don't know how to do this and maybe you might be a little afraid of Photoshop. So just go right click, click edit in, and then Photoshop. Okay, so right now, here we are in Photoshop. Now, what I want to do is I am going to use the new selection brush tool. All right. I think for this, that'll work just fine. So what I want to do is I just want to come here and I'm going to try to do it all at once. I may have to kind of undo this. Sometimes generative fill can act kind of weird. But anyway, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to come up here to my contextual taskbar, click generative fill, and then click generate. And let it do its thing. And the one thing I love about Photoshop, it gives you 3 choices. And if you don't like the choices, you can redo it. And it's really cool that not only does it give you 3 choices and you can redo it, but it saves those 3 choices, the original 3 choices. Whereas in Lightroom with the remove tool, you can regenerate your choices, but it eliminates the original one. So my first one, here's my second, and there's my third. Third one, obviously, got a branch still in there. Second one, kind of like that one. And then third, we're going to do this one right here. Okay. We're going to keep that. And then I'm going to get out of that. And all I do then is I come up to File, and then I just click Save. Don't click Save As, click Save. You can also do a Command S to save it as well. So I'll click Save. Now it looks like it's not doing anything. But I'm going to come back into Lightroom, and you're going to see in a minute it is going to do its thing and see it's creating another file. This is why I wanted to avoid before. So if you look here, it's a TIFF file. All right. So it changed that around. So now I have a new file, a new photo, a TIFF file, and it's pretty much done. Now the cool thing about this is that I can go back into Photoshop. I can actually do some more changes if I want to, and then click Save again, and it'll come back and it'll resave it in here as well. As long as I don't close Photoshop, I'm fine. Now, if I decide to close Photoshop, well, then I can't do it anymore, especially if I don't save that file. Oh, actually, and also, too, if you look with the TIFF file, it resets everything. I really wish Adobe could send your raw file into Photoshop and then bring it back as a raw file, even if it is a DNG file. And then that way they can save your edits. So if you do want to go back and make some edits, you don't have to, go back into your original file, send it back into Photoshop, etc. So anyway, there you go. Sunset photo. August, fall, you're going to have some really nice sunsets. There's your edit. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel. Click that like button. I tell you, it's really, really helping out my channel a lot. I'm getting a lot more likes. Also, if you guys, can comment, maybe something I missed, maybe something you want to see in a future video, maybe another type of photo you want me to edit. Just let me know in the comment section, because I'd rather have ideas that come from you guys. And then I know it's something that you guys want to see. Right now, I'm just, I'm trying to come up with my own ideas, and, most of them are doing okay, but some of them just are, trying to do what you want. I'm trying to focus on beginner stuff and intermediate stuff. If there's something you want to see, a video you want to see, please let me know in the comment section. But until next time, take care, everyone.